Welcome back to Love Island USA. Cierra has left the villa due to a personal situation.
Love Island USA contestant Cierra Ortega removed from the villa just a week before the season 7 finale after her past use of an Asian slur resurfaced online.
Love Island USA Season 7 has officially wrapped, and Maya and Brian took home that sweet $100,000 prize. These Dominican lovebirds captured America's hearts with their late-season romance, proving that sometimes the best connections happen when you least expect them. Brian chose to split the money, refreshingly non-toxic in a season that was giving villain edit energy from day one. Here's where things get absolutely wild, though. The real chaos exploded the moment these islanders got their phones back and saw what the internet had been saying about them. We're talking complete meltdowns, family drama on Instagram, and social media scandals that make Casa Amor look like a peaceful meditation retreat. Rolling Stone literally called this season an absolute mess, and that's being diplomatically generous. The finale couples perfectly showcased how ridiculous everything was. Not a single pair had been exploring their connection before Casa Amor. 2 couples only got together in the final week, and one literally broke up during their final date.
Love Island USA star Jeremiah Brown is speaking out after fellow contestant Cierra Ortega was removed from the villa for previously using a racial slur. In a July 7th TikTok live shared by fans, Jeremiah said,
"What do you think about Cierra leaving? I don't condone no type of racial slurs, bro. That racial stuff is weird, bro. I've been dealing with that my whole life, bro."
Congratulations on that historic Love Island first, I suppose. The season that was supposed to follow up the cultural phenomenon of Season 6 instead became a masterclass in how not to handle reality television. Every week brought new controversies, from racism scandals to strategic eliminations that had fans questioning whether votes were being manipulated by producers. Speaking of that final date breakup, we need to discuss the cinematic masterpiece that was Huda and Chris's romantic dinner turned demolition derby. These two somehow made it to the Final Four despite the relationship having more red flags than a NASCAR race, which was already suspicious considering the toxic energy they'd been serving all season. Picture this scene: candlelit dinner on a floating platform surrounded by pristine Fiji waters. Instead of sweet nothings, we got bitter everythings. Huda spent the entire date interrupting him while he tried to explain basic relationship boundaries.
How did Cierra leave? So I can't really say, but when Cierra left, they gathered us all together, the producers gathered us all together, and then they said, unfortunately, Cierra has broken some of the policies of our guidelines.
Apparently demanding cuddles at 3 in the morning with countdown ultimatums isn't peak romance. Who could have predicted that revelation? The absolute pinnacle of secondhand embarrassment came when a singer emerged from nowhere to perform Moon River while these two were mid-breakup. The timing was so perfectly awful that reality TV producers couldn't have scripted anything more beautifully uncomfortable. They're sitting there, freshly broken up, forced to endure this romantic serenade like some twisted fever dream sequence. The real kicker, though, after Chris had carried Huda to their dinner table earlier to keep her feet dry, she had the absolute audacity to ask him to carry her back after dumping him. His response: "My carrying days are over." The man said exactly what needed to be said. Huda ended up taking off her heels, pouring herself an extra glass of champagne, and walking out alone. It was giving dramatic movie scene energy, except nobody ordered this particular screenplay. Back at the villa, they had to explain to fellow islanders that they'd ended things, with the girls praising Huda for not screaming and making a scene. That commendation revealed exactly how low their expectations were for her emotional maturity throughout the season. Chris's family finally showed their true colors once the camera stopped rolling.
Because at the end of the day, as much as you want to feel sorry for somebody, if you know they got removed from a show for saying something offensive, you can't really feel sorry for them.
Love Island USA's Zach reveals what the cast was told about Cierra's sudden exit. After the Peacock series announced that the 25-year-old left the villa due to a, quote, personal situation.
And the tea they served was absolutely scalding. During the family visit, his mom and sister were suspiciously polite, smiling and keeping it cute for television. They claimed to have, quote-unquote, no notes about Huda, which Chris seemed surprised by. Clearly, they were saving all their real commentary for Instagram. His sister, not the one who visited the villa, mind you, but another family member, posted the most deliciously shady message after the finale aired. She said people need to heal, so when something real comes into your presence, you know how to accept it. The subtle shade was absolutely perfect. She also threw in some pointed commentary that seemed to reference a controversial video of Huda that had been circulating online. What makes this family drama even more telling is that Chris's relatives actually liked Huda during filming. According to social media posts from his account managers, they were posting supportive messages and expressing excitement about their journey together. The complete 180 after the show ended speaks volumes about what really went down behind the scenes. The family's post-show commentary suggests they had been biting their tongues during filming, probably not wanting to create drama on national television. Once that NDA expired and they saw public reaction, the gloves came off completely. When Jeremiah and Hannah got voted off, fans didn't just express disappointment. They launched full-scale investigations into potential voting manipulation. The outrage was so intense that people started petitions to bring them back, which obviously didn't work since this is reality TV, not a democracy. Here's where it gets really messy.
Former Islander Bella Walker applauding the move, noting Asian hate is oftentimes overlooked.
I think this is like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, right?
The 25-year-old bombshell's parents now releasing a statement on her behalf.
America voted for their least favorite Islanders, leaving Jeremiah, Austin, and Pepe vulnerable among the men, while Hannah, Maya, and Iris were at risk among the women. The safe Islanders then had to vote for who to eliminate, and they chose Jeremiah and Hannah. The problem? Austin hadn't formed a single meaningful connection in 3 weeks, while Jeremiah was building something genuine with Bombshell and after his toxic situation with Huda finally ended. Fans immediately called rigging, saying things like, production manipulated this vote because no way that many people voted for Huda to stay, and Huda safe but Jeremiah not? This was obviously fixed. The conspiracy theory started flying faster than Twitter drama, with people convinced producers kept problematic contestants around for entertainment value. The male Islanders seemed to have a coordinated campaign against Jeremiah, with Ace allegedly leading the charge. Social media exploded with comments like, Ace is a big hater, and Jeremiah made Ace look bad, so Ace had to get revenge. The strategic elimination felt more like high school politics than reality dating. Ariana later revealed insider tea that supposedly justified the elimination. According to her, Jeremiah was absolutely last in America's votes among the men, so he would have gone home anyway. Still, the timing felt convenient, especially considering the obvious animosity from certain male Islanders. Let's discuss Ace's transformation from TikTok star to reality TV villain, because this journey was more dramatic than any scripted show.
She'll no longer be here in the villa, and that's the only information we can give you guys. So when we was all in there, we didn't really know what was going on, but that's the only thing they said to us. And if we needed somebody to speak to, go speak to them. But yeah, Nick was really upset that she left, but at the same time, he couldn't really be super upset or like.
The 22-year-old content creator with millions of followers entered the villa with an entitled energy that immediately rubbed people the wrong way. Hannah actually called him out for acting like the president of the villa, which was probably the most accurate character assessment of the entire season. Ace had this disturbing need to control everyone around him, especially the women, and his attitude toward female Islanders was genuinely problematic to watch. He constantly criticized their behavior, particularly Maya and Huda, while positioning himself as some sort of moral authority in the villa. His conversations felt performative, like he was trying to win debates rather than connect emotionally. When women challenged him or called him out, he got defensive and passive-aggressive immediately. The most suspicious part of Ace's villain era was the persistent rumor that he and Shelly had a much stronger pre-existing relationship than they admitted. If true, this would mean they were essentially running a calculated scheme to win the $100,000 while manipulating other Islanders and viewers throughout the entire season. His strategic gameplay became obvious during eliminations, particularly his campaign against Jeremiah. Fans accused him of leading the pack to vote out competition, treating Love Island like a game show rather than a genuine search for love. Now we need to address the elephant in the room, the racism scandals that absolutely plagued this season. Not one, but multiple contestants got exposed for using slurs in old social media posts, and the way production handled each situation revealed some seriously problematic double standards.
Racial stuff is never cool and no kizzy.
Cierra faced online backlash after old posts resurfaced from both 2015 and 2023 using an Asian slur. In her 2023 post, Cierra used the derogatory term in describing how she used Botox to open up her eyes.
First, Ulissa got booted after just one episode when a podcast clip surfaced of her repeatedly using the N-word. Her elimination was swift and unceremonious. The narrator briefly mentioned she was no longer in the villa, and the show moved on like she never existed. Then came the Cierra situation, which was somehow even more damaging to the show's reputation. In 2020, she posted a video getting cosmetic work done and casually used an anti-Asian slur while talking about her eyes. Not once, apparently multiple times in different posts. The receipts started circulating on social media, and fans immediately demanded the Ulissa treatment, meaning immediate removal from the villa. Instead, Cierra stayed for weeks while the backlash intensified exponentially. Asian fans rightfully pointed out that racism against their community was being ignored, while other forms of prejudice received swift consequences. The selective enforcement was giving extremely problematic energy, and the hypocrisy was impossible to ignore for anyone paying attention. Cierra lost over 200,000 Instagram followers in 48 hours once the evidence went viral. Tracking tools showed her hemorrhaging thousands of followers per hour as hashtags like #SierraOut and #DumpSierra trended across social platforms. Her follower count went from nearly 1 million to the mid-700s faster than her reputation could recover. Casa Amor week was supposed to be the dramatic peak of the season. Instead, it felt like watching producers desperately throw everything at the wall to see what would stick. The twist this year forced everyone to recouple with bombshells immediately, which created artificial drama rather than authentic relationship testing.
Many fans believe is pointed to recently surfaced post where Cierra uses a racial slur. Her former co-star Zach is sharing what production told the cast about her exit in the villa.
But when Cierra left, they gathered us all together, the producers gathered us all together, and then they said, unfortunately, Cierra has broken some of the policies of our guidelines.
The most shocking betrayal came from Taylor, who completely blindsided Olandria by choosing Clark after spending weeks claiming to be committed to their connection. The woman had been nothing short of loyal, giving him space to explore while making it clear she was invested in their future together. His decision to abandon her for someone he'd known for days was genuinely cruel to witness. Maya's reaction said everything that needed to be said. She literally stood up and voiced her disgust when Taylor made his choice. Even the other Islanders were shocked by his cowardice and lack of loyalty. The man had spent the entire season telling Olandria that maybe people just don't like her, which was emotional manipulation disguised as honest communication. The manipulation got even worse when Olandria and Nick were temporarily dumped, only to be given a fake choice between coupling up together or leaving the villa entirely. Obviously, they chose to couple up because who's going to voluntarily eliminate themselves? The whole setup felt like blatant producer interference designed to create a fan service storyline rather than genuine romantic exploration. Taylor's betrayal sparked immediate fan outrage, with viewers calling him one of the biggest cowards in reality TV and demanding his elimination. His lack of maturity and consideration for Olandria's feelings was genuinely horrible to watch unfold on screen. This season's biggest problem wasn't individual Islander behavior. It was the obvious producer manipulation that made everything feel completely artificial. Multiple contestants and fans noted that the interference felt more heavy-handed than previous seasons, with votes and eliminations clearly timed to maximize drama, rather than reflect authentic audience preferences. The choice to do more viewer votes instead of internal recouplings made the show feel overproduced and scripted.
Calling the backlash painful. Quote, "We're not here to justify or ignore what's surfaced. We understand why people are upset, and we know accountability matters."
When your reality show starts feeling too manufactured, it loses the authenticity that made people fall in love with the format originally. Love Island works best when it feels like we're watching real people navigate genuine emotions, not actors following a predetermined script. Even the final 4 couples proved how broken the season was. Not a single pair had been exploring their connection before Casa Amor. 2 had only gotten together in the final week, and 1 literally broke up during their final date. These are not the statistics of a successful dating show by any reasonable measure. The Casa Amor format changes were particularly problematic for creating authentic connections. Making everyone immediately couple with bombshells removed the natural tension of choosing between loyalty and temptation that makes the twist compelling in the first place. What became crystal clear this season is that these Islanders had absolutely no preparation for the level of scrutiny that comes with Love Island fame. Basic vetting of their digital footprints apparently didn't happen, leading to scandal after scandal that could have been easily avoided. The social media management was particularly messy across the board. Multiple contestants clearly expected Instagram fame and brand deals without the accompanying responsibility responsibility or criticism. They wanted the followers and opportunities, but seemed genuinely shocked when people held them accountable. The most telling aspect was how this season's cast fractured immediately after filming ended. Previous seasons saw Islanders forming lasting friendships and maintaining connections outside the villa. This group started imploding before they even got their phones back, with allegations, unfollows, and barely concealed animosity everywhere you looked.
She hasn't had the chance to process any of this or speak for herself, but we know our daughter, we know her heart. The family promising Cierra will take responsibility in her own time and her own voice.
Cierra's post-show Instagram activity was especially chaotic and poorly managed. She posted heartfelt captions about growth and memories, tagged literally everyone except Huda, then had to edit with explanations about technical difficulties. She initially called Huda's fanbase Hood Rats, thinking that was their actual name, then had to clarify she'd been offline and didn't realize it was hate directed at the fans. Meanwhile, her support system crumbled in real time as former contestants and close friends publicly distanced themselves once the offensive content surfaced and went viral.
Andy Cohen, co-hosting the reunion alongside Ariana, suggests we're in for either appointment television or complete disaster. Andy's reputation for asking the questions that make people squirm, combined with this season's mountain of controversy, means we're probably getting absolute carnage. The reunion is scheduled for August 25th, which gives everyone plenty of time to craft their narratives and prepare their defenses. Some Islanders will probably use the opportunity for genuine accountability and growth. Others will likely double down on problematic behavior and create even more drama. What's particularly interesting is seeing which Islanders are already doing damage control versus those who seem completely oblivious to their public perception issues. The reunion will be the first time many interact since getting social media access and seeing public opinion about their villa behavior.
This season proved that not all publicity is good publicity. When your dating show becomes a trending topic for racism scandals, producer manipulation, and toxic relationship dynamics, rather than genuine love stories, something has gone seriously wrong with the entire production. The damage to reputations has been done, receipts have been thoroughly examined, and the entertainment will continue whether we asked for it or not. Based on the continued social media chaos, nobody learned anything from this masterclass in how not to handle reality television fame. August 25th promises even more spectacular meltdowns, and something tells us the reunion will serve chaos that makes the actual season look peaceful.